Hey Guru Nation, welcome back to the clinicaltrialsguru.com. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube, subscribe to the blog, subscribe, hit me up on Snapchat or Instagram. I'm really pushing those networks out. Or you can call or text me 949-415-6256 or email me Dan at theclinicaltrialsguru.com. So today I got a question from someone who's asking, should I work at a small research clinic or a larger research clinic company? This is a study coordinator, right? And the answer is it varies. And as with absolutely everything in life, it depends on you and what you want to get out of it. So if you don't have any experience, okay, and you're trying to get your foot in the door somewhere, obviously you don't have the luxury of deciding should you work at a small one or a big one. You're going to work at whoever hires you. Okay, your objective is to get your foot in the door. Now, if you're a little bit beyond that, or if you're more patient and you want to wait for the absolute perfect place to work, which does not exist, but if you want to make the best decision you possibly could and you're willing to be patient, there's advantages and disadvantages to either. Okay, so I'm just going to go through it real quick. I was just talking to one of the study coordinators here about this. A mutual acquaintance of ours worked at a small clinic and then he moved on to a bigger clinic and seems to be happier at the bigger clinic. And so here's the advantages and disadvantages. Okay, working at a small clinic, you're going to be wearing many hats, right? Chances are they're small for a reason because there's not that many people there. They might have, now small doesn't mean you're going to be working less than you will at a bigger clinic. In fact, you're going to be working more because you're going to be wearing more hats. You're going to be asked to do more things. You're going to have more responsibilities. All this looks really good on your resume because it gives you a wider variety of roles and responsibilities that you can leverage next time you go apply for a job somewhere else, right? Maybe you're going to be a CRA or project manager, whatever the case may be. The disadvantages, so that's an advantage, right? The disadvantage of working at a smaller clinic is the smaller companies are generally more susceptible to market fluctuations. So as long as the studies keep coming in, if we're in a good market, which we happen to be right now, your job's going to be fairly secure, all right? It's never 100% secure because it's always someone else's decision. You always are going to have a boss, regardless of whether you work at a big or small clinic. But generally, as long as the studies keep flowing and the owners are making money, you're going to have a job. Now, as soon as the market corrects, typically what happens is these smaller clinics need to lay off staff, right? Because they don't have the money, they don't have the cash to absorb losses for a prolonged period of time like some of the bigger clinics do. So that's an advantage of working at a bigger clinic, is you're less susceptible to market fluctuations because generally these companies are more resilient to market fluctuations, for one. Number two, they're more prepared to deal with these things because they're more compartmentalized. And yes, there are going to be layoffs in a bad market for either a small company or a larger company. But typically the larger ones are large, and that means by definition they have a greater market share of studies. So the smaller research clinics, when there's a downturn in study supply, are the first ones to not get awarded with new studies. And the bigger ones typically, again, things change all the time. Things can be different from scenario to scenario. But for the most part, the larger companies are the last ones to lose studies in a market downturn because sponsors, CROs, they want to go with the proven ones. And typically the ones with the companies with greater market share are the ones that the market has decided are more proven than the others, right? Now, some of the disadvantages of working at a bigger company is maybe that you don't get to wear that many hats. So, and for some people this might be an advantage, for others it might be a disadvantage. Again, this is why I tell you, you got to know what you want to get out of it and who you are. So usually at a larger clinic, they compartmentalize things. So they have people to do data entry, they have people to draw blood, they have people to do vital signs, they have people to process the labs, They have coordinators who create source docs. They have coordinators who interact with patients. They have recruiters. So you're probably going to get put into one of these verticals, and that's what you're going to be doing. And some people like that, and there's nothing wrong with that, all right? The disadvantage there is you don't get exposure to a wider variety of responsibilities and roles that you could later leverage on your resume. But again, some people like that. Some people like the repetitive tasks, the predictable tasks. Some people function better that way. So, I mean, in my previous example of the mutual acquaintance between myself and a colleague here, this person's happy in this larger place, and he's doing a lot less stuff. He has way less responsibilities, and he gets paid more than he did at his previous site, which was a startup, where he was asked to do just about everything, but he didn't like that. Great. So now somebody else could have been the opposite. They could have loved having all those responsibilities and having a variety of different things to do, a variety of different responsibilities, never having really the same thing to do every day. And others don't like that. They prefer the stability and the predictability. So those are the advantages and disadvantages of a smaller research site versus a larger one. And again, you have to know yourself to know what you really want to get out of it and make an informed decision for your career, right? And the good thing about this country we live in is if you don't like the decision you made, you can make another one, right? Thank you very much, Guru Nation. Good luck to all of you. Dan from theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Take care.